Once upon a time, in a certain kingdom, a poor woman gave birth to a baby boy. The strange thing was that at birth, the top of the baby's head was still enclosed in an amniotic sac, a rare omen believed to bring good fortune. Midwives and villagers whispered a prophecy. This child, when he turns 16, will marry the princess. Word of the prophecy quickly reached the king's ears. This king, by nature suspicious and cruel, could not tolerate anything that threatened his throne or power. He immediately ordered the baby to be taken from its distraught mother, intending to cast it into the swirling river. But fate smiled upon the little boy. The gentle current did not swallow the tiny life, but softly carried the cradle to the shore, where a kind farming couple happened to discover and take him in. They raised the boy, naming him Golden Hair, because his hair shimmered like threads of sunlight. 16 years later, Golden Hair had grown into a handsome, strapping young man, possessing an innate noble bearing without knowing his true origins. One day the king was hunting near that land. Golden Hair, with his resolute appearance and intelligence, caught the king's eye. Upon learning that he was the very child from the prophecy years ago, fear and envy surged anew in the king's heart. The king immediately feigned friendliness, asking Golden Hair to deliver a secret letter to the queen. "This is an important letter," the king said. "You must deliver it directly to the queen, and absolutely must not open it." Golden Hair obeyed and set off at once. That night, on his journey, Golden Hair got lost in a dense forest and had to sleep in a cave. Unfortunately, it was the hideout of a band of robbers. Upon discovering the young man asleep, the robbers searched his belongings and found the king's letter. They opened it, read its contents, and were horrified to realize its message. Upon reading this letter, immediately kill the bearer. The robbers, who disliked the king's cruelty, suddenly had an idea. They decided to change Golden Hair's fate. They took pen and paper, wrote a fake letter with completely different instructions. Upon reading this letter, arrange a grand wedding for the bearer with the princess. The next morning, Golden Hair continued his journey, carrying the altered letter without knowing it. When he arrived at the palace and delivered the letter to the queen, she was greatly surprised but still followed the king's supposed command. Thus, Golden Hair, the humble farm boy, legitimately married the princess and lived in the Golden Palace. News of this drove the king into a furious rage. He could not believe the prophecy had come true in this way. He sought to eliminate Golden Hair once more. The king summoned him and challenged, "If you wish to prove yourself worthy of being the royal son-in-law, go to the deepest depths of hell and bring back 3 golden hairs from the devil." This was an impossible task, a deadly trap. But Golden Hair, for his love for the princess and his own courage, accepted the challenge without hesitation. He embarked on a perilous journey, overcoming countless dangers, confronting strange creatures and terrifying landscapes. Finally, Golden Hair reached the gates of hell, a dark and fearsome place. Fortunately, he met the devil's maid. She was a woman imprisoned by the devil, but she had a compassionate heart. Moved by Golden Hair's perseverance and also weary of the devil's cruelty, she secretly helped him. When the devil was fast asleep, the maid gently plucked 3 golden hairs from his head and gave them to Golden Hair, along with important instructions. With the 3 golden hairs in hand, Golden Hair quickly returned to the kingdom. He recounted his adventure and presented the undeniable proof. The king could do nothing but accept the truth. Golden Hair and the princess lived happily ever after, and the cruel king eventually faced the consequences of his actions. From then on, Golden Hair was known not only as the princess's husband, but also as a symbol of courage, wisdom, and perseverance in overcoming all challenges, ensuring that good ultimately triumphs over evil.